Morning Station with Attitude, Super Duper Morning Show. We got a special guest joining us in the building. Got to say good morning to Mr. Denicio Wyatte. What's going on, my brother?
Bless up, super.
Yeah,
bless
man.
Up, big homie, you don't know.
Yeah,
love
good,
every time.
Good to have you here. It's been a while since you've been here in the studio.
Give thanks, man. Give thanks.
Yeah,
Always
man.
a pleasure to be here. But it takes a while when you really got nothing much to say. You save it.
You sure you ain't got not much to say? I was seeing you on Facebook. You got something to say.
I always got a lot to say, but
Yeah.
sometimes you take the right time to say the right thing.
Right, and which is what I respect about you, because you say, like you say, you choose what you need to say, what you have to say when you think you need to say it, whether it's bad or even if it's good. Whether it's to call out or criticize something that you feel needs to be talked about, but at the same time, when something good is done, you go online and you give people their credit as well, which is what I appreciate and respect you for.
Give thanks, yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah,
that's how the balance should be,
All right.
Yeah, man.
So let's talk a little bit about why you're here today. Many people
thanks.
know you as a farmer. I don't know if that's what you like to refer to yourself as, or is there a more name that you give yourself? I don't know.
Well, I'm humble with being a farmer,
Yeah?
man. I give thanks for that still.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I give thanks.
Farmer of Spaceless Gardens, right? It's called?
Yes, correct.
Over there in St. Peter's. And I know, is it every Saturday you guys still do the market?
No, we do the farmers market by the St. Peter's Community
Right.
Center now every other Saturday.
Every other Saturday.
We might have a little pop-up market in between depending on how much things get harvested.
Right.
And so if it's abundance, we do a little pop-up, but every other Saturday.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I know you're busy with that, with your Spaceless Gardens, with the pop-ups and the market. I know also a big topic right now they're talking about is the the legalization and everything, or decriminalization of marijuana. I know you're big and heavy in that aspect as well. But we're here to talk about a project that you're starting, right? That you're kicking off.
Yeah, man. We trying to kick off we're going to kick off the Eco Learning Program the first week in May. So right now we're busy with just gathering registrations for the whole month of April. Registration will be over tomorrow, April 30th at 12 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
So far we were satisfied with the amount of participants that registered. We have a capacity of 40 though. So we're looking forward to seeing between today and tomorrow how many more registries will come through
To fill up the spots,
yeah, man, definitely. The idea focuses on we're supported with this Eco Learning Program. We've done many in the past. Always focus around a specific theme at times. And this time the theme is roots and resilience.
Right.
And we look at roots and resilience. This segment of this Eco Learning Program is supported by the Slavery Memorial Committee. So we thought about how can we bring the knowledge about slavery and how it still affects us today in 2026. A lot of us living today still don't realize we do a lot of things because of generational trauma, I call it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even just down to beating our children, where we get that from. We can't communicate, we can't learn to talk,
Right.
we can't understand, we really have to beat our children. And that comes from when our ancestors used to get beat and licks and they thought, that's discipline, you know what I mean to say? So small little things, even today, hey, shut up, you hear big people talking? Like, so our kids don't have an opinion, they don't have
the
they
right
don't have
to
feelings,
speak.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then when you want them to speak up, they don't, because now they're so traumatized and they're so scared at what might be the repercussions. So.
The mentality of a slave.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so we were so unaware of how it really affects us in 2026. And because of that too, we failed to realize how we can move forward from leaving go of certain things and actually using it to our advantage. Because even if you look at slavery, today we complain, government this, government that, our brother this, your sister that, your cousin this. Even our own skin color today is our biggest problem.
Right.
It has nothing to do with white. It has nothing to do with other races. And even if you really go back to the beginning of time, my stepfather say, listen, no white people ain't come through the jungle that they didn't know about and grab no black people.
Right.
It's black people that set it up.
Yeah.
So until we start to acknowledge that at some point in time down the line, we were at fault, and try to see how we could understand that, take accountability for it, and heal ourselves and move forward and start to work better with our brothers and sisters,
Right.
instead of just feeling that, yeah, because it's a better opportunity, I'd rather quicker sell you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And today, this is why we as a race itself are one of the races that on the bottom of the top 10, let's say, of being sustainable, of owning assets,
Yeah.
of owning valuable businesses. You know what I mean? And so because of that fight that still was there from the beginning of time, still existing today in 2026, you know, we still carry it on, you know? And I think it's time that our people understand what we did, you know? How can we learn from it?
Right.
How can we look at the same corn, the same cotton, the same hemp, the same cannabis, for example, all of these things that we were basically taken from Africa for to be set on the plantations to grow. How can we actually use these same resources now today and turn it into something that could actually change our lives for the better, instead of just complaining about it from the generational past and not being able to see a good future. You know, so this program is hoping to holistically heal, you know, while also allowing people to understand how much nature and us are just the same. And if we take examples from it, we'll be allowed to really thrive as people in this world. You know what I mean?
All right. So who is this actually for, and how do they sign up, and then what is it actually, you know, gonna be, you know, about? So are they like getting into the fields? Is it more of a theoretical type of thing? Like what exactly can they expect?
Yeah, man. So it's both in the field and theoretical, because you don't know, we have to sit down sometime and take time to, you know, heal, discuss, communicate with each other, share each other's opinions, and try to find the solutions. So it's a mixture of theoretical and practical. At one point, there's definitely lectures, and it's a 8-week program. So the first week, we look at finding creative purpose, really tapping into to people themselves and understanding, hey, what are we really existing for? Until you start to understand that, then you really don't know which direction you're really going. You're just existing. That's how I look at it, you know? And finding creative purpose mixed with a level of seed germination. So with that, you'll be able to understand how your life is just as a seed, you know? The seed consists of 3 different components: the seed coat, the embryo, and the endosperm. That's life itself. You know what I mean? And if you mirror the progress of growth through the seed, through your progress of growth in life, from the seed to the flowering, to the fruit, to the harvest, which is your harvesting success, at the end of the day, you'll be very surprised how you and plants and nature can thrive just alike. You know what I mean? And so week 2, we dive deeper more into seed germination and understanding the seed while understanding ourselves a little bit more. Week 3, we look at soil types and plant production systems. Within that week 2, we look at ourselves and try to understand ourselves a little bit more. How do we connect? How do we choose a path? With, you know, like the same thing with farming. Okay, I might like hydroponics, you might like aquaponics, I might like traditional farming. How do we start to choose a path based on our personalities, right? And
also maybe you could to tie it in, how do plants survive in these different type of, you know, like you said, soils and climates? Because some plants thrive in a rocky area, whereas some plants thrive in a more dry area, and others are more moist and everything. So people are just like that too. Some people thrive in chaos. Some people need a little bit more stability and everything. So
you get it.
I get it, man.
So you know, you're jumping right into week 4.
Hold on, I got too far, man.
No, you're jumping right into week 4 because then we look at plant care and maintenance, but we also look at how we as humans take care of ourselves, how we build healthy habits, healthy routines, stuff like that, right? And then week 5, we look at business. We're looking at how slavery can also be a way towards generational wealth. You know, looking back at all those resources that basically we were exploited for, they're still at our disposal today to some way, somewhat, somehow. How do we take those commodities now and help it to better, you know, upgrade our environment, our communities, and our livelihoods, right? And so in week 5, we dive into a little bit more about the business aspects of it too as well. We'll have guest speakers like Emilio Calmara as well, you know, looking at investments, focus around agribusiness, right?
Yeah.
And but also focus on how you invest in yourself. You know what I mean? What things do you see that you can get yourself into to be able to, just better your livelihood and your family livelihood. And then week 6 we jump into the most important part again, which is holistic healing. And within week 6, all of these weeks from since seed germination, we're planting seeds. Right. So we done plant seeds from week 1, and they're growing all in these times. And we're monitoring them, we're taking care of them in between.
So while we're getting to learn and grow about ourselves, the plants that we started with at the beginning, they're growing along with us as well.
Right.
I like this.
Right.
I like
so
this.
At the end of like week 6 and week 7 covers holistic healing, and we kind of break it down in 8 components, because people don't realize that you really could never be holistically healed if one component is actually off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're talking about wholesome food, wholesome living, wholesome life. Being holistically healed has many components. It has emotional, spiritual, energetical, financial, economical, I said spiritual already. So it has all of these components that people don't look at. Sometimes a financial too as well. Some people could be nice and healthy, but because they have a financial struggle, they're stressed. So that plays a different type of role on their natural day-to-day lives.
Right.
Some people could have all the money in the world, but emotionally they're very unstable.
Right.
So therefore, they may look good, but are they really happy in life?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so basically looking at the different 8 components, we split it up over the 2 weeks. And we look at 4 components, let's say mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. And then we look at economically, we look at energetically, we look at how we as people itself thrive in those different areas, or how those different areas affect our lives, right? And if one is off, then we're not really fully balanced, right? And so we're trying to find ways on how we could look at all the different components and kind of just address them, and once you kind of address those, you'll be able to, have a better way of thinking, a better way of decision making, and also a better chance for a better future to thrive, And then in week 8, which is the best week ever, which is harvesting, the culinary art of harvesting. Usually in this week, we harvest what we grow over the 8 weeks, and then we encourage everyone from the different cultures to kind of bring a vegan, vegetarian dish. And then we all bring it together with the salads and stuff that we grow, and we have a meal and we discuss the past 8 weeks, and we also look at things within the 8 weeks that we discussed that we would like to find solutions for. And this is where the Farmers Cooperative came out to the last eco-learning program. We saw a need and a gap for, a farmer's market, a need and a gap for investing a little bit more effort into agriculture and the product development behind agriculture. And so all of us decided after the class, hey, we're going to come together collectively after a group and champion that cause, And so 2 years now, it's been going strong. So I'm sure out of, these classes, we can continue to build certain groups of people that will look at solutions in our community or in our island and see how they can look at them as investments also too for themselves and try to find the best solution.
I mean, this sounds pretty amazing. I'm sure this took you some time, to put together, and now that you have the ability because you're getting it's being funded.
We're getting support from the Slavery Memorial Committee. So there's a few different components going on. We'll be cleaning the slave wall too, and planting some fruit trees around the slave wall. Just kind of to be able to, so we can go back to it all the time and kind of keep it maintained. If there's nothing there, you feel like there's no reason to always keep the slave wall maintained, But that's a part of our culture, a part of our history. The program also offers volunteer support. So for certain people that are going to come out and help us within the time that we're there executing the project, the 3 months, we're able to at least compensate those volunteers for their time, because every hand counts. We can't expect always volunteers to come out, and basically they also too have responsibilities, so by just offering them a little compensation, a little food to eat, some meals, we can, build a good energy towards getting the project done. In between that, we'll be resetting back up the greenhouse, setting up more grow spaces for our participants also to participate. And we have some nice little projects because we get some different land spaces and stuff also too from community members. But the problem is the hands on deck, you know? So it's we're hoping that through this program we'll have more interested people that would be able to, occupy these spaces that would add value to the food production in the end too as well. We can't grow everything, but I think if we start by little portions and by a community effort, we can trickle down to where we can, have a network of growers and farmers that can really bring better food into the communities.
All right. So this program kicks off when and how persons who are interested, how can they get involved? How can they sign up? Because like you said, it's open to 40 participants. Spots are already filling up and they're going really fast. So when does it all kick off, and how, if somebody's interested, how can they be a part of this?
So it kicks off on the 7th of May. And we have 2 more days for registration, which is today and tomorrow. Right. Tomorrow registration cuts off at the 12 o'clock in the night on April 30th. In between time, people can also reach out to our email. But what I'm trying to do is not do registrations for persons. They need to take that step. They need to look at the survey, answer the questions, go through the registrations. It's like you're also trying to teach them that, hey, not everything is really handed to you. If you really want to participate in this, then take the opportunity to understand what it's about, from the get-go. And so people can reach out, but I will direct them back to the registration and the survey. But they can email us at eco-St.Maarten, that's ECO STMAARTEN at gmail.com. That's eco-St.Maarten at gmail.com. Or they can look at Facebook, where we have St.Maarten Agricultural Research and Development Center, and they can find the registration link also too on our Facebook page. So hopefully, that they can take the last 2 days to, see if they can fit in within the registration slots.
Nice. Sounds good. Looking forward to that. And great concept, Denicio, if I must say so myself. It sounds really, really good. Very, very interactive. And at the same time, learn more about agriculture and about yourself as well.
Yes, man.
Yeah, man.
Try to see how we can go at the past trauma and how we could actually leave it now benefit us.
Capitalize
a lot
on
of people don't realize, even by us talking about racism today, you're carrying on negativity.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I remember,
because you're not saying to forget about it, but let's see how we could now take it and twist it and use it to benefit us now instead of,
right. And also to acknowledge our role in it because if we don't do that, we're always gonna be overly bitter. It's like if I come to your city, I kidnap you, I build up your city, I keep you as slaves first, right? Now, I fail to kind of maintain my system. Now you take over. Right. Now let's say now the white people take over. They capture the whole thing. You think they're going to ever give us a chance to get it back? To take over again? Exactly. So why did we fail in the first place from maintaining order? And they have so good at maintaining order. People don't realize it's because of the internal. It's always the internal animosity amongst us that allow kingdoms to crumble. It's never the people outside. It's always the people inside. And so a lady at the bank tell me at times, she say, for her 40 years working at the bank, she saw so many different nationalities come into the bank to buy land. Arabs, Jews, Indians, never had a problem. Even if there's 4 or 5 of them come in the bank, they go and their payments always on time.
Right.
She says she never see 4 black people walk into the bank together. During her time that she was there. She retired now. Come into the bank and never had a problem. Sometimes even losing their property because of disputes. So it says a lot about our character, how we believe and how we support one another is how we're going to continue either to build industries and that'll boost up our economy, or we'll continue to just build disaster that eventually will just deteriorate. And I see that's where we're at now. So I think with those that are willing, because like I say, this ain't for everybody. It's for those that are willing to take time to read, go through the survey, and want a change in their life, want to find solutions. If you're not up for that, then that's okay too. This ain't your spot, you know?
All right. Denicio Wyatte here with us this morning on the Super Duper Morning Show, talking some great things and a great program that he has coming up, which starts on the 7th of May. It's an 8-week program that teaches you about agriculture and also about yourself as well. So if you're interested, once again, what's the email again?
St.Maarten@gmail.com.
All right, so make sure you check it out. You have between today and tomorrow to register and to be a part of that, because the registration closes off tomorrow at midnight. So make sure you check that out. All right, anything else, Denicio, you need to add?
Well, for now, no. Just, yes, one last thing.
Yeah.
I had a great time in Grenada watching the Carifta games.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And what I really experienced up there was how other countries support their sporting culture and support their athletes. I mean, the nice homecoming for our athletes on the airport was nice and everything, but what's next?
Yeah, it's not enough.
Right, you know, and I saw how other countries, you know, how their facilities are, their stadiums are, even that, again, environment, how it motivates athletes different. So imagine if we have athletes right now that are in a stadium that is really like half deteriorated, and they're still thriving. Imagine the confidence they would have
if we had a fully
nice stadium, nice equipment, proper programs, different things, you know. So I want to just shout out to Coach and the Dynamic Sporting Club for just doing an amazing job with these kids. But I also want to, you know, also, as usual, put government on the spot and say, y'all need to invest more in the youths and these kids, you know what I mean? When these kids come back, you know, those winners and those champions supposed to have a scholarship. You know what I mean? When the athletes come back to Dominica, they get house, car, land, all of these things. When we come back, we get a nice welcome, which is nice. But I think from a government perspective, the least they could do is secure scholarships for these youths at the same time, you know? That's just my take about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, thank you, Denicio, for joining us today and keeping up the good work. Question for you, question of the day. I know usually you're busy on the lands and everything. I don't know if you get the chance to really partake or watch Carnival, but tomorrow's the Grand Parade. If you're going to be watching it, where's your usual spot to check it out?
Like, what do you mean, on the lineup?
Yeah,
it's anywhere I get a parking spot. That has been a trip, you know, because it's when you reach out now and you get a spot in between, man, you just take it how you get it. True. Give thanks, you know.
Definitely, for sure. Man. And once again, got a shout out to you and your boys. They did a great job in, like you said, Grenada for the Carifta games. Shout out to Naja. He did his thing, brought home the goal. I know his brother also is very proud of him. He's also working hard. And do they get pretty competitive with each other, or they're more supportive? Because I wonder how he feels. Like, man, my brother got this goal thing hang up in the thing. But I always see them in the neighborhood because they live not too far from me, and they're always together and they always look like they have a good time.
You know, both of them are their biggest motivations, you know. The thing is, a lot of people don't know, because even with this thing with ISO Speed, Naja is actually a long distance runner.
Right.
You know what I mean? Between the 800 to 3000, he running, you understand? Right. Nasaya, he's a sprinter.
Oh, he's a sprinter.
He's an 80 to 1. He's actually the fastest in his age on the island, on the 17 in sprinting, right? But Nasaya left here with one injury already and got 3 during the games.
Oh wow!
And he still, and he had get a cut under he toe before he leave. So that already they was trying to recover 1 week alone before he reached. Yeah. And then while he was there, he get a slight knee injury. Right. And he still run the 400 meter.
Pretty good.
Wow. And come out third place. You understand?
So imagine.
But the hurdles is what give him a little more challenge. Yeah. And then after the long jump, it's just like, we had to take him out of the game, you know? Yeah. So coach made the right decision to take him out of the game. Because he himself, he don't want to give up. He'll be like, nah, I'm feeling no pain. Try to, But you could see, you know? Yeah. So for the ISO Speed, you know, it's a more like Nasaya would be the sprinter more than Naja. But what I love about this is just the sportsmanship and hoping that all the athletes and kids can get a chance to meet him and just interact with somebody that inspires them, whether it's a race or not a race. For me, it's just about good sportsmanship and conversation.
Yeah,
you know?
We said the same thing.
Man.
Nice, man. Well, thank you again for joining us today on the Super Duper Morning Show. Keep up the great work. Once again, the email is
@gmail.com, and if you send it to the email, I'm going to redirect it to the link. So
All
you
right.
got to play your part.
There you go. Thank
Bless
you
the
again,
Lord.
Denicio, for joining us.
One
Keep
love,
up the
my
good work.
brothers.
Ladies and
Thank
gentlemen, I want
you.
to say you with the Attitude Super Duper Morning Show. Birthday is coming up next.